It took me long enough, but I finally got around to the final movie in the X trilogy. No, not that one. The horror one. Welcome to Sandwich Reviews. I'm the Talking Sentient Sandwich, and I didn't love MaXXXine as much as I did the first two. And it's barely an integrated trilogy, but I guess the third one is always the worst. I was pretty confident that this would be a direct sequel to Pearl, with me avoiding any trailer or information in the marketing, but the year this takes place in discounts that whole idea, though it still works as a spiritual sequel and wrap-up of the ideas in X and Pearl. And also, I'm just now realizing this as I'm writing this review, but MaXXXine is literally the same character she was in X. There was even more than a few lines directly connecting the two films. God, I'm stupid. But anyway, every movie in this trilogy has been able to discuss the horrors of working in film. And while I'm a guy, and I also don't work in the film industry, I was still able to understand how terrifying it can be to be a woman trying to succeed in this life, especially in the time periods these movies are set in. And that may be why none of these movies were able to scare me that much, though most of the tension comes from the creepy weirdness in the filmmaking anyway. But to say that this was the same movie as Pearl would be incorrect, though the premise behind both are the exact same, the only difference being the time period and the level of insanity of the main character. And there's still plenty to be said about these themes, especially in the 80s, though I'm just not sure if this movie was different enough to justify another back-to-back horror movie from T. West this soon. Obviously, it should be no surprise that Mia Goth is amazing in this role, just as she's been in the past couple X movies. And maybe I did just mention that T. West might have rushed this last one, but I still have to shout him out because all three of these movies were clearly labors of love. Plenty of other people poured every bit of effort they had into this production, but I'm really glad T. West created these films. Similar to the Netflix Fear Street trilogy, none of them were masterpieces, but I was glad to have some entertaining new horror movies to watch. Though I still wasn't a fan of MaXXXine in general, maybe it deserves another watch, but I doubt I'll get back around to it. So unless you're a trilogy completionist, I wouldn't bother checking out MaXXXine. Besides, there's plenty of other great horror movies out right now that you can watch if you're still dying for something new. But let's dive right into the movie spoilers, even if I don't have much else to add, and I'm sure if you cared, you've already seen this movie. Maybe I'm making excuses for myself not realizing this was a continuation of X, but each movie in this trilogy isolates the story to a narrative unto itself, elaborating on whatever idea T. West and whoever else helped write this decided to bring up. I mean, there's a lot of character and story carryover from X in this, but MaXXXine might work better as a standalone story of this up-and-coming actress being targeted by a serial killer, the Night Stalker. In fact, I'm positive this would be much more entertaining if it weren't inevitably compared to X and Pearl. And I definitely prefer X over the others simply because it's more of a traditionally simple movie, but each is at least somewhat scary at some point. In MaXXXine, there was a face molding scene that was genuinely terrifying because I've had the same irrational fear of the exact situation happening to me. I mean, not the exact situation with the old creepy memories haunting me, just being stuck in one of those molds. But still, that scene got my heart beating. But if you've seen MaXXXine, what did you think of it? Did it live up to the first two? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for weekly video essays and reviews, and enjoy a delicious sandwich.